Hello, my name is Yvette Martin and I'm open to feedback. Mary was completely excited when this quarantine began. She knew that she was going to have so much free time that she would be able to relax and watch movies. However, this was not the case for her. She had so much free time on her hands that she became unproductive. She then became more sedimentary and started to consume social media even more. This had a huge toll on her physical and mental health, which eventually caused for her to realize how important exercise is throughout this period of time. Today, I'll be informing you all of the benefits that exercise has on both physical and mental health. Our life has completely shifted in this pandemic. As Pew Research on March 30th, 2020 exemplifies that nearly 9 in 10 Americans have said that their lives have changed in a minor way. However, 44% of Americans have said that their lives have changed in a drastic way. First, I'll be talking to you about how COVID-19 has affected our environment and our lifestyle. Second, I'll be discussing the importance to stay physically active at home for our health. Third, I'll be discussing how mental health has been drastically affected and ways to manage it. Everyone's life has changed as a result of this COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic began sometime around March, and ever since then, our lives have not been the same. Many things were shut down, including schools, and many even jobs were lost just to keep us healthy. Social interaction was completely eliminated to avoid this virus from spreading. The United Nations on May 15, 2020, exemplify how this global outbreak has led to closures of gyms, stadiums, pools, dance, fitness studios, physiotherapy centers, parks, playgrounds, all to be closed. This has had a huge toll on the amount of exercise that people are doing. People are not being able to actively participate in many of the activities that they used to. This has also led for many people to become unmotivated as they do not have others to encourage them. This pandemic has also made many more people sedimentary, as they are not usually partaking in their usual activities, like going to school, work, or even church. People are stuck at home, so they started to consume social media even more as they feel like there's nothing else to do. Alexandra Samet from eMarketer on July 29, 2020, exemplifies how a Harris poll that had been conducted between late March and early May states that 46 to 51% of U.S. adults have consumed social media more since they did before this pandemic. This has only shown how people have become more productive as they are relying more on social media to resort to as something to do. It has also had an effect on people as they feel like there's nothing else to do. Now that I have talked to you about how the lives of everyone has changed as a result of this pandemic, I will now be talking to you about how important it is to stay physically active throughout this pandemic. To remain healthy and prevent many people from getting this deadly disease, many people have had to follow the stay-at-home mandate, which is staying at home and avoiding all human interaction as possible. However, this has led for an unfortunate decrease in physical activity in many people. Jeffrey Woods and others from NCBI on June 2nd, 2020, highlight how part of the strategy to reduce this coronavirus by social isolation has the potential of reducing physical activity and causing long-term consequences and diseases. Being physically active allows for us to remain healthy. However, this social isolation is causing for a reduction of physical activity. This has the potential of causing some very, very deadly diseases, like cancer in the long run. Many people have been stuck at home, which causes them to get bored. They have resorted to social media for long periods of time. This has caused many people to sit down and lay down rather than walking or going on a hike to avoid people. Scott Mayer from UCSF on July 1st, 2020, states that 10 days after March 11th, there was already a 5.5 decrease of steps worldwide, which is about 247 steps. Then 30 days later, this percentage only grew to 27.5, which is equivalent to 1,425 steps. This only exemplifies how this pandemic has affected everyone from staying physically active. However, we have to ensure we remain healthy, so we have a strong immune system to overcome this deadly disease. COVID-19 has shut down many of the places that people used to work out at. However, there's other options like creating your own workouts or simply performing your own daily exercises. However, American Heart Association on September 29, 2020 illustrates that many people are using this time to become creative and exercise more. They are finding new ways to do it, like joining online e-classes or even using YouTube videos that encourage aerobic activity, strength training, yoga, and Pilates. This illustrates that although many of the activities that many people used to do are closed, that there are other options to still participate from home. As we are all using social media during this time, it is important to use it for a more productive way. Now that I have talked to you about how important it is to stay physically active for our personal health throughout this pandemic, I will now be talking to you about how mental health has been drastically changed throughout this pandemic and ways you can manage it. This pandemic has affected many people in many different ways. It has had a huge toll on stress on many people. Christina Farr from NCBC on July 1st, 2020 exemplifies that Americans are 55% more stressed in May than they were in January. Mental health is really, really important, especially throughout this period of time. It is important to manage your own stress levels and find ways that you can find inner peace with yourself, as mental health can have a toll on your physical and mental life by your lifestyle. Mental health also has the ability to affect your eating habits. This pandemic has only increased stress, which has drastically changed many of what people are eating. According to Victoria Matoli and Milena Nazi and others from EGCN on May 5th, 2020, they shed light on how stress evokes people to eat more unhealthy and drink more unhealthy. They eat snacks, hamburgers, chocolate, soda, or even wine more frequently. If we eat more unhealthier foods, this is going to affect our physical health that we can manage if our mental health does not affect us. Physical health, if we do not work on our physical health, it has the potential of affecting the way we can overcome this deadly pandemic. Stress has increased for a variety of different reasons, like financial reasons, school, or even time management. However, exercise is a great solution to manage our mental health as well. Mayo Clinic on August 18th claims that virtually any form of exercise, from aerobics to yoga, can act as a stress reliever. You do not need to be in a sport or even an athlete or even in shape. This amount of exercise can go a long way. It is important to find ways to manage our stress from preventing us from living to our true potential. Now that I described to you how COVID-19 has affected our lifestyle, our physical and mental health, as well as now there's other solutions to help us stay motivated and healthy. I hope you understand how beneficial it is to do exercise throughout this pandemic for both our physical and mental health. Mary's situation was ideal to be productive. However, she did not choose the good route. She chose to just slack off and lay down and enjoy her time. However, her physical and mental health suffered greatly. She was on social media for long periods of time. So I encourage you all not to be like Mary. Use this time to stay motivated. Stay active to ensure you are healthy to protect you from this deadly virus and any long-term consequences that can arise.